In the heart of a bustling city, there was a small food store run by a woman named Mama Zainab. Every morning, with her son Tun by her side, she would arrive at her corner with a steaming pot of stew, selling simple yet delicious meals to anyone passing by. Her food was always fresh, flavorful, and had a richness that couldn't easily be matched. But there was something odd about Mama Zainab's store. Despite being located in a crowded part of the city where dozens of other food vendors lined the streets, her customer base was unlike any other. People came from far and wide, and the line at her store never seemed to end. In fact, it often spilled into the street, causing traffic jams. Curiously, no one could ever figure out why her food was so irresistible. Other vendors tried to learn her secret, but Mama Zainab would only smile mysteriously and say, "The food is made with love." Some speculated she had mysterious powers, while others believed it was the unique spices she used. Spices said to have been passed down through generations. Before Mama Zainab's food store became the sensation it was, she was just another vendor struggling to make ends meet. Her food, though made with care and passion, simply didn't attract enough customers. No matter how hard she worked, her store remained unnoticed, and the constant struggle left her exhausted and frustrated. One fateful evening, at her wit's end, Mama Zainab sought the advice of a renowned herbalist who lived on the outskirts of the city, far from the bustling streets. The herbalist, an old man with deep-set eyes and a long white beard, was known for his mysterious ways and deep knowledge of ancient remedies. His reputation for solving seemingly impossible problems had spread far and wide. Mama Zainab arrived at his modest hut, her heart heavy with worry. She explained her troubles, pouring out the weight of her hardships. "My food is good, but it's not bringing the people. I don't know what to do anymore. Can you help me, please?" The herbalist listened carefully, nodding in silence. When she finished, he looked at her, his eyes narrowing slightly. "The problem lies not with your food," he said, "but with the energy surrounding you. The city, the people, they are not drawn to your spirit, your essence." He tapped his finger on the wooden table. "I can help you, but the price is high." Desperate for a solution, Mama Zainab urged him to tell her what needed to be done. The herbalist looked her over with sharp eyes, as if reading the depth of her soul. Then he told her the answer, one that made her heart race with a mixture of fear and curiosity. "There is an old ritual," he said, "that brings you the success you desire. But it requires sacrifice." He explained that to draw people to her, she would need to make an offering of her own flesh. The ritual required her to cut a part of her leg with a cutlass, a deep wound that would never heal but would ensure the success of her business. The piece of flesh would be used in a sacred ceremony at the herbal shrine. In exchange for the sacrifice, the universe would open its doors, and her food store would attract crowds like never before. However, he warned her, the wound would never heal. The pain would remain with her as long as she continued the business. Every day, she must wash the wound with the water used for cooking, but it must be done in secret, away from the eyes of others. The price seemed steep, but the weight of Mama Zainab's dreams pressed down on her. She needed to succeed. She had no other choice. With trembling hands, she agreed to the ritual. The herbalist prepared everything in silence. Soon, under his careful guidance, Mama Zainab felt the cold steel of the cutlass slice through her leg, leaving a wound that burned with intense pain. It was a pain that would never fade, not with time nor medicine. As the ritual was completed and the flesh was taken, she felt a strange sensation wash over her, a surge of power as though the very earth had opened its arms to her. Her legs buckled from the pain. The herbalist stood behind her, his voice low and serious, "Your path is now set. Keep the secret, or all will be lost." And so, Mama Zainab's business began to grow. The customers came in waves, each one more eager than the last. Word spread quickly about her food, its flavor unmatched by anything else in the city. But as the days passed, the wound on her leg worsened, a constant reminder of the price she had paid. She followed the herbalist's instructions carefully. Each day, she would wash the wound with the water used for cooking, ensuring no one ever saw her. The wound remained raw and deep, an open mark of the sacrifices she had made. At night, as she closed her store, Mama Zainab would glance down at her leg. She could feel the troubling pain beneath her skin, but she also felt something else, the strange, unshakable pull of the people who depended on her food. She smiled to herself. Mama Zainab's food store was thriving. Her line of customers grew longer by the day. People didn't just come to eat, they came with an almost desperate eagerness, as though her meals held something they couldn't live without. Some would wake up before dawn just to secure a spot. Others, too impatient to wait, offered to help her wash plates or sell food, hoping to be served first. This desperation didn't go unnoticed. Other food sellers in the market began to grumble among themselves. Their businesses were suffering. Their stalls were deserted. She must be using something, one vendor muttered, shaking her head as she watched Mama Zainab's endless line of customers. Yes, another agreed. How else could one draw so many people? Her food can't be that special. She's done something unnatural. Rumors spread like wildfire. Some claimed Zainab had visited a powerful herbalist. One day, a group of vendors gathered near the corner of the market, their voices low but filled with anger. She has taken all our customers, one said. We're barely making enough to feed ourselves. We need to do something. Another said, we can't just let her destroy our livelihood. Meanwhile, Mama Zainab remained unaware of the growing hostility around her. She focused on her work, carefully preparing her meals and maintaining the secret ritual with her wounded leg. Every morning before the market opened, she would wash the wound with the cooking water, as the herbalist had instructed, ensuring no one ever saw her. But the resentment continued to grow. One of the vendors, a young woman named Bola, whose stall was across from Mama Zainab's, began to watch her every move. Bola was determined to uncover the secret behind Mama Zainab's success, convinced it was the key to saving her own failing business. One night after the market had closed and Mama Zainab had packed up, Bola followed her. She stayed in the shadows, her heart pounding as she watched Mama Zainab walk through the narrow alleys behind the market. Bola followed her to a small hidden spot where Mama Zainab set down a pot of water. Bola watched in shock as Zainab rolled up her wrapper, revealing the wound on her leg. It was raw and oozing, the kind of wound that should have healed long ago. But instead of treating it with medicine, Mama Zainab dipped a cloth into the cooking water and began to wash the wound, her face a mix of pain and relief. Bola's breath caught in her throat. She had heard stories of such rituals, but never believed them to be real. Now, seeing it with her own eyes, she felt a mix of fear and anger. The next day, Bola whispered what she had seen to the other vendors, but no one believed her. Later that day, they confronted Mama Zainab, who instantly denied it. Bola asked her to taste her food to prove it, and some looked at her in disbelief, while others accused her of jealousy. Still, Bola persisted. She watched Mama Zainab carefully. One day, her sharp eyes caught sight of something strange. That evening, as shadows lengthened and vendors began to pack up, Bola followed her again. Mama Zainab, thinking she was alone, brought out a basin of water behind her stall. Her leg wound, now swollen and festering, oozed with a foul smell. She wept in pain but carried on with the ritual, dipping a cloth into the cooking water and wiping the wound. The flesh was dark, raw, and maggots crawled out of it. Bola's heart raced. She could no longer contain her shock. Mama Zainab. What are you doing? She screamed, stepping out of the shadows. Mama Zainab froze, her blood running cold. She tried to cover the wound, but it was too late. She's washing her wound with the same water she uses to cook. Bola shouted. Everyone come and see. Her secret is wickedness. Vendors and customers turned toward the commotion, their curiosity piqued. Bola continued to shout. You've been selling cursed food to people, using your own flesh to draw customers. That's why your line never ends. Mama Zainab dropped to her knees, tears streaming down her face. "Please," she begged, "don't tell anyone. I had no choice. I wanted my business to survive. I beg you, Bola, don't do this." But Bola refused to be silenced. "No. The people must know the truth. You fooled us all." The crowd grew larger. Panic gripped Mama Zainab as her secret unraveled. She clutched her leg, her face twisting in agony. The wound swelled and burst, releasing a putrid stench. Maggots spilled out in a writhing mass, and the crowd recoiled in horror. "No! No!" Mama Zainab screamed. Her voice grew wild and high-pitched. She clawed at her face, her hair, her clothes, as if trying to tear away the guilt and pain consuming her. "They're coming for me," she shrieked. "The spirits, they won't let me go." Her wound dripped a dark fluid that stained the ground. The smell was unbearable. People began backing away, covering their noses. Then, before anyone could stop her, Mama Zainab broke into a frantic run. Her screams echoed through the streets. Some tried to follow, but she was too fast, driven by madness. She ran toward the express road, her feet barely touching the ground. A speeding vehicle approached, its horn blaring. The driver swerved, but it was too late. With a sickening thud, the car struck her. Her body crumpled beneath its wheels. The market fell silent as the news spread. Some said